Hello and welcome to the first part in the TenderPOS stock tutorial. We will be covering 5 separate parts of stock control within TenderPOS. In the first part and today's video, we will be covering product setup, how to make sure that our products are set up correctly in order to use stock control effectively. We will then cover how to create purchase orders so we can tell the system which stock we're bringing in. The third part will take a look at stock takes and performing stock wastage. The fourth part will cover the reporting side of stock control and what all of the individual numbers mean. And finally, in the fifth part, we will cover how to perform some basic till functionalities around stock control. So just like all of TenderPOS, let's go ahead and log into our back office with our supplier credentials. Now, for today's tutorial, we're going to look at specific products and how we need to set them up. Let's go ahead and pop into our product and let's go find something like a bottled beer. So let's take a look at our Desperado. Now you'll notice that in my Desperado, I have a base size of 1 with a base size of quantity. Desperados is a bottled beer that I buy in a single quantity. So an individual bottle, 330 mils, 500 mils, whatever it may be, when I purchase this product, I intend to buy it as an individual bottle, and then I intend to sell it as an individual bottle. And what you can see in our selling size is we are mirroring that. We have a size of 1 quantity and a base size of 1 quantity because it's a single item. However, if we go have a look at something again in our hospitality along the lines of our draft beers, this might be a little bit different. When looking into our draft beers, we might be looking at something, say, Amstel. When I buy my Amstel from my supplier, I don't buy it as a keg and sell a keg. I would buy it as a single keg. In this particular instance, I have chosen to go along with a base size of 50,000 milliliters, which equates to 11 gallons or 88 pints. Now, when I go ahead and sell a pint, I will be selling 568 milliliters from my base size. Now, the base size can be whatever you find works best for your business and your stock control. So let's say, for example, with Amstel, I had the opportunity to buy it in a 30-liter keg. I could change it to 30 liters. Now, what happens if I buy Amstel in both 30 liters and 50 liters? I don't want to have to create 2 separate products. Well, in this case, we can utilize 1,000 milliliters and the buying size. So here you can see I already have an 11-gallon setup. That is 1 quantity of my base size. Now, because we've changed our base size, this will no longer work. So let's set this up as a name for a 50 liter. Whenever I buy a 50 liter, I want to buy 50 of my base size. So let's go ahead and set that to 50. So it knows that when I'm buying my 50 liter, I can buy my 50 liter, or we can now go in and add my 30 liter. And what we are doing at this point here is we are buying 50 times my base size. I can go ahead and add VAT if applicable to the particular product you're buying, and the cost. Now in this instance, I know that a 50 litre will cost me something along the lines of 110 pounds and a 30 litre something along the lines of 80 pounds. In the third tutorial, when we go ahead and we do our stock taking, and in the second tutorial, purchasing, you'll see how all the buying sizes and base sizes come into allowing you to create an easy workflow as to how we're going to buy and sell the product. Now, from this perspective, when I'm selling a pint, I'm still selling 568 milliliters from my base size. So now that's the setup of a bottled beer and a draft beer. Maybe let's take a quick look at something along the lines of a wine. When we buy my wine, we can buy wines in bottles, but sell it by the glass. So let's go have a look at my red wine. Immediately I can see I set my base size up wrong. My base size should be 750 mils. But here, when I sell it, I can sell a single bottle with 1 quantity times the base size. So I will effectively sell 750 mils. When I do a large, medium or small glass, I will subtract from the main one. Now when I buy my wine, in this particular case the Malbec, maybe I buy from my supplier in a case of 12 bottles. So what are we looking at? 12 quantity times the base size. So now what might that look like if we're doing something along the lines of a cocktail? I don't buy cocktails, I make my cocktails. So let's go ahead and find my cocktail group and let's have a look at how my cocktails are set up. So let's take a bubble smoke, and you'll notice that it is a single base size. Now the most important part around a product that is what we call a non-stock product, or something that you physically make on site, is under our product settings the stocked flag. This is not a stock product. I do not buy the bubble smoke, I make it. So how am I going to go about telling the system now that I make this? Well, firstly, unflag your stocked and then pop into your ingredients. Now in the bubble smoke, we're going to be adding gin. So we can go and search for anything with the word gin in it. Clearly I don't have, so let's go have a look at my group totals for my gins. And there's my gin. And let's go and add our beef eater. And it's going to allow me to enter in a 50 milliliter size. So each time I sell my bubble smoke, I will be subtracting 50 milliliters of my beef eater gin, so that when looking at all of my reporting, it will all make sense. We will see the subtraction of. So let's go ahead and save that. So when setting up your products in TenderPOS, the main thing that we are looking for is setting up our base sizes, our selling sizes, and our buying sizes. So let's go back to our Desperados. Let's go ahead and create ourselves a buying size. Well, look at that, I can buy a case, a half case, or an individual bottle, depending how I want to utilize. So before you engage down the road of stock taking, make sure that all of your products are set up correctly. Now, you don't have to set up buying sizes. You can still, in the purchase order, go ahead and create your purchase without a case. All it means is that at the point of purchase, you'll be adding this information in each time you do it. Creating the buying sizes and the cost now will just allow you to automatically pull that information through. So this was a brief little tutorial around setting up our products for stock control. In the next series, we're going to cover how we go about purchasing. Thank you very much indeed. If you have any questions, do reach out to our support team.